Hey guys, and welcome to episode 5 in the Python programming series. This episode will be all about functions. Functions are similar to loops in that they are used to shorten code and cut down on parts that are too repetitive. So without any further delay, let's get right into the video. So you may be wondering, what really is a function? Well, a function is used to perform any task that we program it to. Similar to variables, it is named, meaning we can name it whatever we want. For example, we can have a function called print hello, and we can program it to literally print hello. Great, well, how do we do this in Python? Well, Python, it's pretty simple. We have to type def, which is short for define, and then space, and then name it whatever we want. In this case, I'll name it print_hello. Now we want to have an open parenthesis and a close parenthesis. And then now a colon. You may remember that with colons from the loops video, when you click enter, it'll indent the line. Now anything we put here that is indented is a part of the function. So now I'm going to type print hello. And that's it. There, now we have our function. However, if we run this, notice it doesn't print anything. Why does it not print anything? Well, that's because we didn't really call the function. What does that mean? Well, we have a function here called print hello, but it's like an action. Just because we can do it doesn't mean we do it. So what we have to do is ask Python to run the function. The way we do that is by just giving the name of the function, print_hello, and then an open parenthesis and then a close parenthesis. Now when we run this, we'll print out hello. And cool thing here is that it's a named function and we can name it whatever we want. So if we change it from print_hello to just hello, now when we run this, it'll give us an error because it's saying, Python is saying, I don't know what print hello is, because we're no longer defining print hello, we're defining hello. So then every time you call it, you have to change it to what the name of the function is. So if we change it back to hello, it'll print out hello. Another cool thing we can do is run it multiple times, or as many times as we want. The way we do this is simply just by calling the function multiple times. As you can see, I called the function 4 times and it printed out hello 4 times. Great, so we know how to use a function. But what if we wanted to use variables that were defined from outside the function? How would we do this? Well, let's make up a scenario. So in this case, we have 2 numbers. Call one first, and I'll set it equal to 5. Then I'll call another number second, and I'll set it equal to 3. Let's say we wanted a function to add them. We can't access first and second because it wouldn't work. So instead what we do is make what's called parameters. Parameters are variables that you identify when you call the function. So you can say in here, if I say num1 and num2, what we'll be able to do is access variables within the indented part as if they're a function. So if I say print num1 plus num2 and assume that both of the numbers are integers, if we run this, you'll notice that we get an error because we're missing two positions that we need, num1 and num2. So in these parentheses, if we put first and then second, now when we run this, it'll get 8 because 5 plus 3 is 8. Let's say we change this to 4 and 7. Now when we run this, it'll print out 11 because 4 plus 7 is 11. Another interesting thing to note is that instead of calling it here, if we call it here and say first and second, we run it, it won't work because we're using the function before we call it. And Python interprets sequentially, so it'll start interpreting from the first line, and it's having a function that it doesn't know yet because it defines it underneath. So to fix this, all you have to do is either move the function up or move where you're calling it down. And now you notice we don't get the little red line underneath it. So if we run this, it'll print 8. In this example here, we have a function that adds two numbers, num1 and num2, and stores that value in a variable called total. However, the problem here is that we are not able to access total outside the function. As you can see, if we run this, it says total is not defined. This is because you cannot access variables defined in a function outside the function. So how would we fix this? Well, the way we fix this is by using a return statement. The way a return statement works is it will return the value to a function that we can set in a variable that is defined outside the function. Great, so how do we do this? The way we do this is type return and then followed by the value we would like to return. In this case, I'll put total. Now what we'll have to do is modify the call function so that it stores a value. So here, if we put answer equals add 3 plus 7. So now if we change this print total to print answer, and we run this, we can see it gets 10. Basically, what's happening is that we are setting a variable equal to the value that the function outputs. So it returns num1 plus num2, which is the total, and we store that in a variable called answer. We can also use if statements inside of functions. In this example, you have a function called check2, and it takes a number as a parameter. So how would we do this? Well, what we would do is we would say if num is equal to 2, and return yes, and if not, return no. Technically, we don't even need this else statement because return signifies the end, and then the code underneath it won't even get run. So to shorten our code, we can remove this and unindent this. Now if we call the function, say 5 as a number, and then set that equal to answer, and print answer, and we run this, we'll get no. However, if we change it to 2, which is equal to 2, it'll print yes, because 2 is equal to 2. Now we're going to do a challenge problem. In this challenge problem, we have a function called subtract, and it's supposed to take two numbers and subtract them and store that in a variable called difference and print out the variable difference. So pause the video and see if you can figure it out on your own. Okay, I assume you've tried the problem. All we have to do is say answer equals num1 minus num2, and then return answer. Now when we run this, 3 minus 1 is 2, so it's going to print out 2. Another thing we can do to make our code shorter is, instead of storing it in a variable called answer and then returning the answer, you could just have it do the math and return that directly. The way we would do this is by deleting the part where we define a variable, and instead say return num1 minus num2. And this will do the same thing, but our code is much shorter. There you go. 3 minus 1 is 2. Well guys, that's everything you need to know about functions. I hope you found this video helpful. Thank you guys for all the support. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!